I used to work as a traveling salesman, staying in different hotels every week. I was used to odd encounters and weird stories, but nothing compared to what happened in Chicago in 2003. I had booked a room at a mid-range hotel downtown for a 3-night stay. The check-in process was normal, the front desk clerk polite but unremarkable. My room was on the 7th floor, room 709. The first night, everything was fine. But on the second night, as I returned from a late dinner, I noticed something odd. The keycard to my room wasn't working. Annoyed, I went back down to the front desk. "Which room did you say you were in?" the clerk asked, typing into the computer. "Room 709, I said. She frowned. "Are you sure?" "Yes," I insisted. She hesitated before saying, "Sir, our hotel only has 6 floors. I blinked, certain she was joking. "No, I've been in 709 since last night," I said firmly. She turned the monitor to face me. The digital floor plan showed only 6 levels. There was no 7th floor. My stomach dropped. Security escorted me upstairs, and sure enough, the top floor ended at room 609. There was no hallway leading to where my room had been, no sign of a missing space. They even checked the surveillance footage. There was no record of me ever being assigned a 7th floor room. The worst part. When I checked my bag, all the hotel's brochures and paperwork I'd collected now showed only 6 floors, as if the 7th floor had never existed. To this day, I can't explain what happened. I slept in another room that night, but I never shook the feeling that somehow for one night I had stayed somewhere I wasn't supposed to. This happened in 2012, when I was renting a small house in a quiet town. I lived alone, enjoying the peace, until one night when everything changed. I was watching TV in my living room when I noticed movement outside my window. It was late, around 11 p.m., so I figured it was just a cat or a raccoon. But then, out of the corner of my eye, I saw it again. A figure standing in the shadows of my backyard. I turned off the TV and slowly walked toward the window. The figure was tall and thin, standing unnaturally still. I couldn't see his face, but I could feel his gaze locked onto me. My breath hitched as I realized he had been standing there, watching me, for who knows how long. I turned to grab my phone, my heart racing, but when I looked back, he was gone. I barely slept that night. The next morning, I checked the backyard, but there were no footprints, no signs of anyone being there. Days passed, and nothing happened. But then, one night, as I was brushing my teeth, I glanced at the bathroom mirror and froze. The reflection in the glass showed the window behind me, and in that window, he was there, standing in the yard, staring directly at me. I spun around, but once again, he was gone. I eventually moved out, unable to handle the paranoia of always feeling watched. But sometimes, late at night, I wonder, was he ever really gone? Or is he still standing outside waiting for someone else to notice him? In 1998, my uncle was driving down a lonely stretch of highway in rural Pennsylvania when he had an encounter that still haunts him to this day. It was close to midnight, and the road was empty. No other cars, no streetlights, just miles of darkness and trees. As he rounded a bend, his headlights illuminated a figure in the middle of the road, a woman in a pale blue dress, barefoot, with long dark hair hanging over her face. He slammed on the brakes, barely stopping in time. She didn't move, just stood there, facing down. Rolling down his window slightly, he called out, "Are you okay?" No response. The hairs on his arms stood up. Something about her felt wrong. Then slowly, she lifted her head. He gasped. Her eyes were completely black, empty, soulless voids. A chilling grin spread across her face. That was enough for him. He threw the car in reverse, backing away as quickly as possible. Just as he was about to turn the wheel and speed off, she moved, not walked, moved. 1 second she was in the road, the next she was closer to the car, as if reality had skipped a few frames. He floored the gas, swerving around her, and drove as fast as his truck would go. When he finally dared to look in the rearview mirror, she was gone. My uncle swears this wasn't a hallucination, and after hearing his voice shake as he retold the story, I believe him. Whatever he saw that night, it wasn't human.